This video teaches you how to use Alteryx Designer. This is the 2019 version, so if you have an older version or a newer version, it may look a little bit different than the version that I'm about to show you, but the functionality should be similar. There are a couple things to note about Alteryx Designer. When you first open it up, you will see the three main panels that you will be working with. The first panel is called the canvas. This is where you will drag and drop your tools that you want to use in your workflow. The second panel is your configuration panel. This panel is where you will tell the tools what it is that you would like to do. The final panel is the results panel. This is where you will see a preview of the data, as well as any errors, conversion errors, or warnings that Alteryx is putting out for you. In order to work with Alteryx, there are a couple things that you should note. The first is you are not going to change your underlying data set. Alteryx does not alter the underlying data set that you're using. Instead, it creates the workflow and does the steps that you've asked on the data set without altering that data set. Because of this, you can feel free to mess up in Alteryx and not worry at all about what you've done. If you get a tool that isn't configured right, or you have done a step that is not what you meant to do, go ahead and delete that tool in Alteryx without fearing that you have made any changes to your underlying data set. The second thing is that you can save your workflows. This becomes really convenient if you need to use the same or a similar type workflow for multiple projects. In addition, because the workflow not only saves the tools that you use, but also how you configure those tools, you can export this workflow to other individuals who need to review what you did or mimic the processes that you have done. Finally, there is a search tool up in the upper right-hand corner. You can type in the name of a tool. You can also type in what the tool looked like, such as a DNA tool called Union. The nice part about the search bar is that once you find the tool, you can also drag and drop directly from that tool. You do not have to get the tool from your menu. We're now going to import our data set. To do so, you will go under your In-Out menu, or it may already be under your Favorites menu, and you are going to locate the Input Data tool. You will click once on that tool and drag it onto your canvas. Now that we have the tool on our canvas, we next need to tell Alteryx what we would like to do. We do that in our configuration pane, and in order to find the file, we are going to click on the down arrow. If you have recent connections, you may be able to select it directly from your recent connections. Otherwise, you will likely be searching for the file using the File menu, and you could either drag and drop the file here, or you can select the file. Once you've selected your file by clicking on it, you can click Open. If your file has multiple sheets, you can use the drop-down menu and select the sheet that you would like to import. This worksheet only has one sheet, so we'll leave it at sheet 1 and click OK. Once we do so, we see a preview of the data that we will be bringing into Alteryx, but it has not been brought into Alteryx yet. To do so, we need to click the Run button. And once we have run that step, we will see that the data has been imported into Alteryx. All the work will be done on this data set, again, not on your underlying data set.